So it's 94 degrees right now, 94 degrees Fahrenheit that is. And I am wearing all of my gear. And a lot of people may say, why are you wearing all that gear when it's this hot? In fact, a lot of people say when I walk in where I'm going right now, why are you wearing all that gear when it's this hot? Well, the main answer to the question, why do I wear my gear, is because I don't like pain. This turn right here, hate this turn. The camera's not going to show it, but it's downhill, and the road I turn on goes with the slope of the hill, so it results in it being off camber, and it usually has a lot of gravel. And that is the site of the first time I ever went down on a motorcycle. Went around that corner, and I don't know exactly what caused it. I wish I did. It's 100% guaranteed it was my fault. It was rider error. But I don't know if I just took the turn too fast, if I was looking down instead of looking up. I'd only been riding for a couple of months. And I had something slimy on my tires, and maybe the tire was overinflated, my rear tire was overinflated. But I went down doing about 15 miles an hour, and I slid on this pavement, which is kind of a packed gravel. It's a little rough, but I slid on it for about 20-30 feet, not much. And I was wearing almost all of my gear. I was wearing just a regular pair of jeans for my pants, and aside from that I was in my full protective gear other than that. And the bike got a little bit of damage, that is, and it was on my old Honda, and and I've since gotten it repaired. But as far as me, I didn't have a scratch on me from sliding on the pavement that far. My mesh jacket was torn, but no scrapes, no scratches, no road rash. So there's one thing, that the protective gear really can work in an incident like that. If you're going highway speed and you hit a car or something like that, the gear can only do so much. But if you just have a little slide out and a little low side at low speed, the gear really does its job. So I'm gonna take part of my ride in today to talk about the gear that I wear. Let me start up top. I'm wearing a Scorpion XO410 full face helmet, and there are times that I think about going with a half helmet and with goggles, or a 3/4 open face helmet, especially when it's warm like this. I seriously may go to a modular helmet, but I'm not going to lose the full face aspect. The very first time I ever rode my motorcycle into town, I had a dragonfly hit me when I was doing 65 miles an hour, square in the face shield. And if the face shield wasn't there, it would have hit me right between the eyes. And you can't control dragonflies or June bugs or whatever other kind of bugs are out here. I don't even like gnats hitting my face when I'm at speed, so I'm not going to forego the full face helmet. It's a little bit of discomfort. It's not too bad when I'm moving because it's got good ventilation in it. But when I stop, I can just pop up the shield, and I get that nice release when I get where I'm going, and I take the helmet off, and everything's nice and cool. So that's the helmet. Next thing is my jacket. This jacket is, well, I don't really know if there's a brand for it. It's branded as Indian Motorcycle Company. I got it from the Indian dealership. It was one of the older models, so it was on clearance. And It's a mesh jacket. So for temperatures like this, it has just all kinds of airflow. I do have a wind liner in it for when the temperature gets to about 60 Fahrenheit. I'll ride with that liner in it. But I've got CE armor in the shoulders and CE armor in the elbows. So I've got a little bit of protection on the places of my midsection that are most likely to hit the ground first. The jacket does its job. The liner, even in a rainstorm, the liner does a decent job in a light rain of keeping me dry. It's not waterproof, but it does a decent job if it's just barely raining. I've had numerous bugs hit me in the chest, and I can tell that they've done it, but it doesn't hurt or anything like that. Rock pecks that hit me there and all of that, and the jacket does its job. Next thing down are my gloves. Right here. Hi, how you doing? The gloves are made by Built, and then I picked them up at Cycle Gear. They're ventilated leather with knuckle armor. Again, trying to protect the parts of my body that would hit should I have a boo-boo. And then I also wear the gloves when the weather's colder. I've got a set of fleece-lined deerskin gloves, and they can get me down to 50 degrees Fahrenheit just fine. Close to 50, I'll probably put on a pair of latex surgical gloves underneath it. Below 50, I go with a pair of ski gloves just to keep my hands warm. But I always have hand protection because my hands, I need them for control of the motorcycle at all times. And they're the first thing that a rock is going to hit if it gets kicked up by a car in front of me. So even if I'm not talking about the possibility of a crash, it's just normal stuff that's flying around, and they do a really good job of protecting my hands. Next thing down, I've got a pair of X Element motorcycle jeans that I got off of leatherup.com that they do not have Kevlar in them. I wish they did. My wife's motorcycle jeans do have are Kevlar reinforced, but mine are not. But I do have CE armor in the knees, and I've got elastic across the knees and up into the crotch area, which allows a good amount of stretch and flex. And on the motorcycle, they're comfortable. At temperatures like this, they're warm. They're warm to walk around in. But they do their job, and most often what gets hit on me as I'm going down the road is a rock or a bug, and it'll hit me in the shin. And these are a thick enough denim that they'll protect my shin. My motorcycle also has its two pipes that come out of the engine on the right side, and if I'm stopped and I put my right foot down, it's real easy for me to get my right calf kind of close to the pipes, and the pipes on this motorcycle get really hot. There is no way I would ride this motorcycle after the engine was warmed up with shorts on. I've moved it 20 feet in the yard to park it wearing shorts, but that's the extent of what I would do. Once those pipes are hot, I want my legs covered. I want my legs protected, even if it's warm outside, because it doesn't matter what the air temperature is, that pipe is hotter. And it'd burn me real bad real quick. So there's those. And the last thing are my boots. Also, they're X Element boots that I got off of leatherup.com. I don't exactly know what model they call them, but they're lace up. They kind of look like a standard work boot, but they've got a really aggressive rubber tread on the bottom of them, so I don't slip when I'm at a stop sign to put, or a stoplight. and I have to have my foot down unless I'm like step right into a puddle of oil. And I don't ride when there's ice on the ground, so I don't worry about that. And this is Texas. I only have to worry about that maybe 5 days a year tops. But they're over the ankle. They have a zipper enclosure on the side, a Velcro enclosure over the zipper to protect the zipper. They're lace up, but they're laced in a way that the laces tuck inside the boot so that they're not sticking out and they won't get caught on any of the foot controls or foot pegs or anything like that. They're very solid, good protection over the toes. Working the shift lever is no big deal, and I don't understand how guys can do this wearing canvas shoes. I probably could, but I've just never tried it. I just don't know that I like the idea of it. I messed my feet up pretty bad doing something non-motorcycle related about 5 years ago, and so I'm kind of protective over my feet. But that's why I wear what I wear, even when it's over 90 degrees or even when it's over 100 degrees. So ride how you want. Riding with gear is a smart thing to do. It's what I do, and I have reasons why I do it. And I see lots of guys around here riding in t-shirts and shorts and no helmets and stuff like that. And yeah, I'm sure that it's just an amazing feeling when you're doing it. But I don't like pain. I don't like heat either. I really don't like heat, but I'll put up with a little bit of heat to get me away from a few weeks of recovering from a bad road rash any day of the week. And I'm definitely going to keep my head protected. So I know the gear is not going to be a miracle worker, but it will help out in a little bit. So those are just some thoughts. I've got my mini apes on order. They should be coming in next week into the Indian dealership in Fort Worth. I'll pick them up, and I plan on putting together a video of how to install them, which ought to be really interesting because I've never done something like that before. I'll be figuring it out as I go and shooting as we go along. But I've been looking on YouTube, and I can't see any videos about how to do that on this specific bike or its big brother, the Scout 1132, or its cousin, the Victory Octane. So I'll get that video out there. I think there's a need for it. So like, comment, subscribe. And this is Bitter Dodge, and I'll talk to you later.